The screen fades in. A storm rages. We see a lone warrior draped in a simple weathered cloak, standing on the edge of a jagged cliff. The camera angle rises slowly from below, capturing the defiant figure as lightning cracks the sky behind him. The sound of the wind whispers in our ears. The low hum of distant thunder fills the space, and the music begins a soft, haunting note that grows with tension. Imagine this for a moment. What if the secret to unbreakable strength has been right in front of us for over 2,000 years, hidden not in some ancient scroll locked away in a forgotten temple, but in plain sight in the wisdom of those who mastered the storms of the mind? The camera slowly circles the warrior. His face is scarred, weathered by countless battles, but his eyes are calm, focused. He does not flinch at the storm around him. Instead, he closes his eyes, breathes deeply, and stands firm against the howling winds. In this VEO 3 Google 3D journey, we step into a world where ancient Stoic philosophy meets modern strength, where the 10 rules of the Stoic hero are not just ideas, but a map to mastering chaos, fear, and doubt, a map to mastering yourself. Lightning illuminates the sky once more. The storm begins to fade into a soft, golden dawn. The camera zooms out, revealing vast mountains and endless horizon, a symbol of the journey ahead. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you could face every storm with unshakable calm? What might change if you lived by these ancient rules, not just in moments of peace, but in the eye of life's storms? Stay with us on this journey, because these 10 rules could change how you face every challenge, every day, starting now. The screen opens to a sweeping desert landscape. The wind howls, lifting a storm of sand into the sky. In the midst of this chaos stands a lone figure, the Stoic hero. His cloak is tattered, his boots buried in shifting dunes, but he stands unmoved. The camera draws closer, capturing the serenity in his face as the storm rages around him. We all face storms, don't we? Maybe not storms of sand and wind, but storms of stress, of fear, of uncertainty. Moments when the world feels out of control. But what if I told you what truly matters isn't what happens outside, it's what happens inside? The hero closes his eyes. The sound of the storm fades, slightly replaced by the rhythmic sound of his breathing. The camera focuses on his calm expression as the sand swirls, powerless to move him. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's great Stoic philosophers, left us this simple but life-changing truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. On screen, those words appear in ancient script, slowly fading into the scene as if etched by the wind itself. Think about that. How much time do we spend trying to control the uncontrollable? The weather, the economy, other people's opinions. And yet, the one thing we can command the mind, we often neglect. The hero takes a slow, purposeful breath. His hand releases the hilt of his sword, not because he's weak, but because he doesn't need it. The real battle is not with the storm, but with himself. When the world seems to fall apart, the Stoic hero doesn't waste energy cursing the storm. He focuses on what he can govern: his thoughts, his choices, his reactions. A subtle transition begins. The storm gradually calms as the hero's breath steadies. The sun breaks through the clouds, casting a warm glow across the endless dunes. The camera pans out, revealing the hero as a small but unshaken figure in the vastness of nature. Ask yourself, what storms are you facing right now? And what might happen if instead of battling the world, you turned your strength inward? What would it look like? To master your mind, the screen fades slightly, leaving only the hero's silhouette against the rising sun. A soft, musical note lingers, hopeful, resilient. This is the first rule of the Stoic hero. Control the mind, not the world. And as you'll see, it's only the beginning. The screen fades in from black. We see a lone figure, the Stoic hero, standing at a crossroads deep in a misty valley. The camera slowly rises, revealing two paths ahead. One is blocked by fallen trees, jagged rocks, and impassable terrain. The other glows faintly with the light of dawn, a clear trail winding through the valley. The air is still. A bird cries in the distance. The hero pauses, taking it all in. How often do we find ourselves here, faced with choices? Some roads blocked by forces we can't control, others open waiting for us to take the first step. And yet, how much of our time, our energy is wasted fighting the blocked path? The hero steps closer to the blocked trail, studying it. We see the frustration in his eyes, but then slowly he turns away. He faces the clearer path, his face softening with calm resolve. The music swells, a hopeful, quiet melody. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, gave us this wisdom: waste no time on what you cannot control. Simple words, but how many of us truly live by them? The screen briefly flashes moments we all recognize. Someone stuck in traffic, angrily gripping the wheel. Someone scrolling endlessly through bad news. Someone replaying old arguments in their mind. The hero's face fades in again, his eyes now focused forward. Think about the energy we lose trying to move the immovable, trying to change the weather, hoping to rewrite the past, wishing others would act the way we want. And yet, the only thing within our power, the only thing that truly shapes our journey, is the choice we make right now. The hero steps forward onto the clear path. With each step, the valley brightens, the fog lifts, the path ahead becomes clearer. The camera pulls back to show the long road, winding toward the sunrise. This is what the Stoic hero understands. He doesn't waste strength on the blocked path. He chooses where he can walk. He focuses on what he can change. And because of that, no effort is lost. Every step moves him forward. The scene pauses as the hero stands tall at the start of the journey, looking toward the horizon. What about you? What are you fighting right now that no longer serves you? What path could open if you chose today to let go of what you can't control? The music rises, hopeful, determined. The screen fades to the text. VO3 Google 10. Rules of the Stoic hero that will change your life. Focus only on what you can change. It's the second rule of the Stoic hero. And on this journey, every rule brings you closer to the strength you seek. The scene opens with a vast mountain range, stretching endlessly beneath a gray sky. The camera glides slowly toward a lone figure, the Stoic hero beginning his climb. Every step is deliberate, measured. The mountain is steep, the path broken, and the wind howls through jagged cliffs. The camera focuses on his boots crunching against rock, then pans up to his steady gaze. Life will place mountains in front of us, not to stop us, not to break us, but to show us who we really are. And it's in these moments, the hard climbs, the painful setbacks, that the Stoic hero finds his true strength. The hero reaches for the next foothold. As he climbs, we see ancient words carved into the stone beneath his hand. The obstacle is the way. The wind carries the phrase like a whisper through the mountains. This was the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, Stoic philosopher, and a man who faced wars, plagues, betrayal, and still chose to see challenges as his path, not his enemy. Cut to brief flashes of real-life struggles, a person facing a medical diagnosis, someone rebuilding after loss, another overcoming rejection. Then return to the hero higher, now his face determined. Think of your own life. What obstacle stands before you right now? A failed plan, a broken relationship, a fear you can't seem to silence. What if that very obstacle is the way forward? The hero pauses at a ledge. The camera widens to reveal the vast climb still ahead. But now light breaks through the clouds, casting gold across the rock face. The path, though steep, is clear. The carvings on the stones glow faintly with the light. The Stoic hero understands the obstacle isn't blocking the path. It is the path. The climb strengthens the legs. The struggle sharpens the mind. The challenge forges the will. With a deep breath, the hero presses onward, hand gripping the next stone boots, finding their place on the narrow ledge. The camera pulls back, showing him as a small but unstoppable figure, moving toward the peak. What if today you chose to see your obstacle not as a wall, but as a gateway? What would change if you stopped asking, "Why me?" and started asking, "What can I learn from this climb?" The music rises, a quiet strength, a hopeful resolve. The screen fades to the text, VO3 Google 10, Rules of the Stoic Hero that will change your life. Embrace obstacles as the path. This is Rule 3 of the Stoic Hero, and as you'll see, the higher you climb, the clearer the view. The screen opens to a dark, tense scene. The Stoic hero stands face to face with an enemy on a deserted battlefield. The enemy's sword is raised, eyes burning with fury. The camera closes in on the hero's face, calm, focused, unshaken. His hand grips his sword, then he lowers it, slowly, deliberately. The storm clouds above seem to pause, a moment suspended in time. There will be moments in your life, moments of pressure, of provocation, when everything in you wants to react, to lash out, to fight fire with fire. But what if that's the moment that defines your true strength? The camera shifts between the enemy's trembling rage and the hero's steady gaze. The music hums quietly, a heartbeat of tension and restraint. The Stoic hero knows reacting is easy, but to respond, that takes wisdom, that takes courage, that takes mastery of yourself. The scene cuts to flashes of real-life moments, a parent pausing before yelling at a child, a driver taking a deep breath instead of honking in anger, a leader choosing silence over harsh words. Then back to the hero, his eyes steady, his sword lowered, his enemy confused, unsure. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." These words appear on screen, etched as if into the air itself. The camera rises, showing the hero standing tall, the tension diffused not by violence, but by choice. You see, to react is to give your power away, to let the world decide who you are in that instant. But to respond, that's to reclaim your power. That's to decide for yourself how you will face the storm. The enemy slowly lowers his sword, bewildered by the hero's calm. The storm clouds part, light shining down. The camera pulls back, showing the hero walking away, not defeated but victorious in a deeper battle, the battle within. What if today you chose to pause, to take a breath before speaking, to choose your response instead of surrendering to reaction? What kind of strength would that unlock in you? The music swells, not loud but steady and uplifting. The screen fades to text, VO3 Google 10, Rules of the Stoic Hero that will change your life. Respond, don't react. This is Rule 4 of the Stoic Hero, and sometimes the greatest victory is the one no one else can see. The scene opens on a vast, endless desert beneath a blazing sun. The Stoic hero walks barefoot across the burning sands. Each step sinks slightly into the dune. His face is calm. No complaint, no hesitation, just steady movement forward. The camera follows closely, capturing the heat waves rising from the ground, the crackling dryness of the air, the weight of each step. There's a unique kind of strength that doesn't come from comfort. It comes from choosing difficulty before it chooses you. The hero's feet leave a trail in the sand. The camera shifts to the horizon where the sun beats down mercilessly. He pauses for a breath, but only for a moment, then moves on. The Stoics believed in practicing hardship, not because they enjoyed pain, but because they understood this truth. The person who chooses to walk through discomfort today is ready when life brings storms tomorrow. Flashes of modern life: an athlete pushing through exhaustion, a student studying late into the night, someone choosing to save rather than spend, building quiet resilience. Then back to the hero. His feet are blistered, but his steps are sure. Seneca said, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" The words appear etched into the sand as the hero walks. The wind sweeps across, but the words remain like a quiet reminder. Think about it. How often do we fear loss, struggle, or change because we've never dared to test ourselves? But the Stoic hero, he chooses the hard path not because he must, but because he can. And in doing so, he trains his spirit for the trials that will come. The hero reaches a small rise. The camera pulls back, showing the long path. He's traveled miles of empty desert, yet his posture is upright, his eyes on the horizon. The sun begins to set, casting gold and crimson across the sky. What small hardship could you choose today? A cold shower, a difficult conversation, a moment of silence instead of distraction. Every act of voluntary difficulty is a step toward unshakable strength. The music rises, steady, grounded, resolute. The screen fades to the text, VO3 Google 10, rules of the Stoic hero that will change your life. Practice voluntary hardship. This is Rule 5 of the Stoic hero. And when the storm comes, you'll already be ready. The scene opens to a quiet forest at dawn. A soft breeze moves through tall pines, and the first golden rays of sunlight break through the canopy. The Stoic hero sits cross-legged on the forest floor, eyes closed, completely still. The camera slowly circles him, capturing the harmony between man and nature, the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant call of birds, the soft hum of the earth awakening. There is a kind of peace that no city, no wealth, no power can buy. It's the peace that comes when we stop fighting the natural order of things and choose instead to live in alignment with it. The camera rises to show the forest stretching endlessly, bathed in soft morning light. The hero breathes deeply, his chest rising and falling with the rhythm of the world around him. This is what the Stoics taught. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Live in accordance with nature," a simple phrase, but one that holds the secret to lasting strength and serenity. The scene cuts briefly to flashes of modern life, a person rushing through traffic, another overwhelmed by endless notifications, someone consumed by comparison and noise. Then back to the hero, still centered, untouched by chaos. Think about it. How often do we create our own suffering by resisting what simply is the changing of seasons, the passing of time, the rise and fall of fortune? Nature moves at its own pace, and when we fight it, we fight ourselves. The hero opens his eyes slowly. His gaze is steady, clear. The breeze lifts his hair gently as the sun climbs higher, filling the forest with light. The Stoic hero understands that true power comes not from bending nature to his will, but from walking in step with it, from accepting what is beyond his control, from finding his place in the great design of life. The camera pulls back to show the hero as a small figure within the vast living forest. The sound of the breeze and birdsong fills the space, peaceful and grounding. What would change in your life if you stopped resisting the flow? What would it feel like to move with nature instead of against it? The music swells, gentle, uplifting. The screen fades to the text, VO3 Google 10, rules of the Stoic hero that will change your life. Live according to nature. This is Rule 6 of the Stoic hero. And in that harmony, you may just find the peace you've been searching for. The scene opens on a vast mountain range, under a night sky ablaze with stars. The Stoic hero stands on a high ridge, his cloak rippling gently in the cold wind. The camera slowly circles him as he gazes upward, the heavens endless above. For a moment the stars seem to pulse, and in the jagged rock face of the mountain, the faint outline of a stone skull, emerges a silent reminder of what awaits all who walk this earth. Look up at the stars, each one burning for millions of years while we flicker for only a moment. And yet, how often do we live as if we will last forever? The camera zooms in on the hero's face, not fearful but thoughtful, humbled by the scale of the universe. The night wind carries a low, steady hum like the breath of the earth itself. The Stoics taught the practice of memento mori, remember death, not to darken our days but to brighten them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." The words appear across the sky, as if written by the stars themselves. The hero breathes deeply, his eyes reflecting the starlight. Cut briefly to modern images, a person arguing over a trivial matter, someone scrolling endlessly on a phone, another hesitating to say what truly matters. Then back to the hero, still present, aware. What would change if we remembered every day how short, how precious this life really is? Would we waste less time on anger, on fear, on things that won't matter when we're gone? The hero kneels, placing his hand on the cold stone of the mountain. The skull shape fades back into the rock as if it had never been. The stars continue to shine steady and eternal. The Stoic hero doesn't fear death. He honors it as the teacher that reminds him to live fully, to speak truth, to love fiercely, to act with purpose. Memento mori is not a threat, it's an invitation to live. The camera pulls back, showing the hero as a small figure beneath the infinite night sky. The mountain massive and unmoving, the stars watching silently. If you knew this was your last day, how would you choose to spend it? What would you say? What would you let go of? What would you finally begin? The music rises, a quiet, powerful resolve. The screen fades to the text. VO3 Google 10. Rules of the Stoic hero that will change your life. Remember mortality. This is Rule 7 of the Stoic hero. And in that memory lies the key to truly living. The scene opens at dawn on a quiet battlefield, the mist still clinging to the earth. The Stoic hero walks slowly across the field, his armor worn, his face calm. From the haze emerges a wounded stranger, struggling, weak, unable to rise. Without a word, the hero reaches down, grasps the man's arm firmly, and lifts him to his feet. Their eyes meet. No speeches, no boasts, just action. The hero nods once and continues walking, the rising sun casting long shadows behind him. In a world full of noise, promises, and empty words, true strength is silent. The Stoic hero understands that leadership isn't about what you say, it's about what you do. The camera follows the hero's footsteps as he moves forward, leaving behind the man now standing tall. We hear only the soft rhythm of boots on earth, the wind moving gently through the grass. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." And those words have echoed across centuries because their truth is timeless. The scene cuts to flashes of modern life. A parent showing kindness without lecture, a manager quietly staying late to help the team, a friend offering a hand rather than advice. Then back to the hero, his path steady and sure. Ask yourself, how often do we fill the air with promises, intentions, and declarations instead of letting our actions speak? How often do we wait for the perfect words when what's needed is a single step forward? The hero pauses at the edge of a cliff, looking out over a vast landscape. He says nothing. He simply looks, breathes, and moves on, leading by presence, by example. The Stoic hero doesn't lead through speeches. He leads through courage, through service, through quiet integrity that inspires without demanding. And that kind of leadership, that's what truly changes the world around us. The camera pulls back, showing the hero as a small figure walking into the horizon, his actions leaving a trail others will choose to follow. What will you choose today to speak, or to act, to tell others what's right, or to show them? The music rises, steady, humble, powerful. The screen fades to the text, VO3 Google 10, rules of the Stoic hero that will change your life. Lead by example, not words. This is rule 8 of the Stoic hero, and sometimes the quietest actions are the ones that echo the loudest. The scene opens to a grand moment. The Stoic hero stands on a stone platform at the peak of a mountain, the sky vast and golden around him. A crowd gathers in the distance, their cheers rising like the wind. A laurel wreath, a symbol of victory, is placed gently upon the hero's head. But instead of lifting his arms in triumph, the hero lowers his gaze. His eyes are fixed on the ground, on the journey that brought him here, on the steps yet to come. The camera moves in slowly, focusing on his quiet, steady breath. Success, recognition, victory, these can be dangerous gifts if we are not careful, because true strength is not measured by how high we rise, but by how humble we remain when we do. The hero steps down from the platform. He walks through the crowd without seeking applause, offering a simple nod to those he passes. The cheers fade into the background, replaced by the soft sound of his footsteps. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, reminded himself daily, "Do not be proud of your success, but be grateful. The credit belongs to fate, to fortune, to the help of others, not to you alone." The words appear softly in the sky, as if written by the clouds. The hero pauses at the edge of the mountain, looking down at the valleys below, where the real work lies not in the glory, but in the next task, the next duty. Cut briefly to modern examples: a leader who gives credit to the team, an athlete who thanks their mentors, a person who succeeds quietly without boasting online. Then back to the hero standing calm, ready to move forward. How often do we let success cloud our vision? How often do we forget the hands that helped us climb, the luck that favored us, the small kindnesses that opened doors along the way? The camera rises, showing the hero as a small figure against the endless horizon, the mountain no longer a pedestal, but a path that continues onward. The Stoic hero knows that humility isn't weakness. It is the anchor that keeps us steady when praise threatens to lift us too high, when victory tempts us to forget our purpose. The music swells not loud, but warm and grounded. The hero takes his next step down the mountain, returning to the work that matters most. When you succeed as you will, how will you carry it? With pride, or with gratitude, with noise, or with quiet purpose? The screen fades to the text, VO3 Google 10, rules of the Stoic hero that will change your life. Stay humble in success. This is rule 9 of the Stoic hero, because the greatest victory are those that leave no boast behind. The scene opens on a grand hall bathed in golden light. At its center stands an ornate throne encrusted with jewels, its cushions rich and inviting. The Stoic hero enters, footsteps echoing through the empty space. The camera follows from behind as he approaches the throne, the symbol of ease, power, and temptation. He pauses. His hand brushes the edge of the seat. And then he turns. Slowly, deliberately, he walks away. The throne remains empty. The camera pans out, showing the hero's figure growing smaller as he steps back into the world beyond the hall. There will come moments in life when comfort calls your name, when the easy path The soft seat, the safe choice seems so inviting. But the Stoic hero knows true greatness doesn't come from what's easy. It comes from what's right. The camera cuts to flashes of real life, someone declining a shortcut at work that compromises their values, a person standing up for what's fair even when it's unpopular, a parent choosing patience over frustration in a difficult moment. Marcus Aurelius said, "Just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. Not the throne, not the applause, not the reward. Only virtue, only integrity." These words appear subtly on the walls of the hall, as if carved there long ago. The hero walks down the steps of the hall, leaving the lure of comfort behind. Outside, the world awaits vast, challenging real. Think for a moment, how often do we choose what feels good over what is good? How often do we settle for comfort when our soul longs for courage? The hero walks through a rugged landscape, now cliffs, forests, rivers. The path is hard, but his steps are sure. The throne fades behind him, forgotten. The Stoic hero understands that comfort is fleeting, virtue lasts, and the peace that comes from living true, that peace no throne can offer. The music swells, a quiet, determined strength. The camera rises, showing the hero as a small but steadfast figure on the winding path ahead. What will you choose when comfort tempts you? The easy way, or the right way? The throne, or the path? The screen fades to the text. VO3 Google 10. Rules of the Stoic hero that will change your life. Choose virtue over comfort. This is Rule 10 of the Stoic hero, because in the end it's not what you had, but who you chose to be. The scene opens with a breathtaking view of a vast desert at dawn. The first rays of sunlight stretch across endless dunes, painting the sand in gold. In the distance we see the Stoic hero small against the grandness of nature, walking steadily along a narrow path. His footprints mark where he's been a trail of perseverance, of quiet strength. The camera glides behind him, following each step as the light grows stronger, casting long, noble shadows. The Stoic hero is not born. He is forged by the storms he's faced, the choices he's made, the quiet victories no one else sees, and so can you. Because the path isn't reserved for the few, it's open to anyone willing to walk it. The camera rises, revealing the full expanse of the desert, not as emptiness, but as endless possibility. The hero moves forward, undistracted, unhurried, present in each step. What matters is not where you start, but the direction you choose. Will you let fear shape your journey, or will you choose strength, resilience, virtue, one small decision at a time? The scene cuts briefly to modern reflections. A person turning off distractions to focus on meaningful work, another offering kindness when no one is watching, someone quietly overcoming self-doubt with daily discipline. The Stoic hero doesn't seek fame, applause, or comfort. He seeks mastery of the one thing that truly matters, himself. And in mastering himself, he changes everything. The hero crests a small hill, and ahead, the sun rises, fully brilliant, vast, filling the screen with light. The wind carries the soft sound of purpose, of promise. The camera pauses, holding this moment of peace and resolve. So I ask you now, will you walk the path? Will you take that first step today? The music swells, uplifting, steady. The screen fades to text. VO3 Google 10. Rules of the Stoic hero that will change your life. Subscribe now for more Stoic wisdom and epic 3D journeys, powered by VO3 Google, because your path starts here.